Good morning from beautiful Brisbane, Australia. How are you this morning? Thanks for coming along and joining in with me, and thanks for joining in all week. It's been wonderful sharing information with you this week, and it's been wonderful getting feedback and us being able to have conversations about what's happening. And yesterday was really good, where we were able to share feedback and give new ideas into your day-to-day life about how to begin managing different aspects of complex trauma. My name's Linda, I'm a trauma recovery coach, and it's my privilege to be here with you and share information. It's Friday, so it's been a massive week for me. I hope that you've learnt some new skills this week. I've certainly come to a deeper understanding this week of a lot of emotional inward stuff that's happened for me. We had an incident last night where my daughter had some bad news, and I can tell you I was not very happy at all. And after I picked her up from work, I was like, there's the whole mother factor that comes into play that, wants to go out and, take out the bad people that are inflicting pain in my daughter's life. And I don't know about you, but I've been that way since forever. And, her music teacher in grade 6, I think, at the time, was just so rude to her in front of the class. And I wrote an A4 page letter about how adults should know better about how to treat children and their emotional intelligence and so on and so forth. And I was very straight to the point, but I spoke, with kindness as well. And you know what? I never got a response back. Nothing. Absolutely nothing back. And I just went, at the time I didn't understand, why would somebody not say something when I've sent an A4 letter questioning somebody's ability to treat children with kindness? And yeah, no response, nothing. But so I want to talk to you a little bit today about shame. I want to talk to you a little bit about our imagination and developing a place in our imagination that is a place of peace for us, because our imaginations can be really powerful places of healing as well, especially when we get triggered, right? And not triggered neurologically, biologically, or straight out of the brain centers, but triggered just straight into our emotions and, at the injustice of what's going on around us. And it doesn't even have to be about us personally. It can be about other people or about the injustices that are handed out to other people in the world. And we feel really strong and passionate about it. And what can happen for us with complex PTSD is it puts us into this zone of emotions going out of control. So, last night I felt really super angry, and I, just wanted to explode all over the place, kind of like, someone's throwing a pizza at a car and it just goes swoosh all over the windscreen, and it's just everywhere. And actually, I think the saying would be, I just wanted to vomit my emotions all over the place. And that's natural, well, it's not natural to want to vomit our emotions all over the place, but it's a natural response to the injustices that happen in this world. But what do we do as people who, when we grew up, we didn't have language around our emotions? We had a whole bunch of rules around our emotions. So especially with sexual abuse or with emotional abuse, physical abuse, there's going to be a lot of rules handed down in our family about what we can and can't do with our emotions. And then as adults, we've got to learn to turn things around in a way that honours who we are as people and who we know we are. But then we've got to grab hold of the parts that are running a bit wild and say, okay, how do I want to manage this? How do I want to be able to keep my prefrontal cortex and my amygdala, the limbic system, engaged so that I can process this logically and without taking the passion of how I feel away, but getting rid of the wanting to vomit externally? How do I manage my internal emotions effectively? Good morning. And when we do that, we then begin to take back a lot of our power. Okay? So I want you to not imagine, but just know within your own heart, right, that when we were experiencing emotions as children, no matter which aspect it came from, whether it was from the emotional, physical, sexual abuse, lack of nurturing from our caregivers, our parents, and bullying and more. Sorry, I got lost in making sure I had all the reasons why. It's been a long week. But instead of going into the same space that we did as kids without language and without the ability to know what to do with these overwhelming emotions, we can now recognize as adults that these emotions are overwhelming and we just want to, put them out there. First of all, we need to know that within us we have a core of self-discipline. So we've got resiliency in abundance, all right? We made it through tough stuff, but we also want to know that we have self-discipline in abundance. And so what I can do, or what I did last night, was I asked the question, whereabouts in my body are all these emotions gathering? Where is the power coming from before that, wanting to vomit? And if you think about, have you ever watched a movie where they have, like an ancient movie where they, up on the battlements of a castle, and they have those big, it's like a big sling or a swing, and they put rocks in the scoop at one end, and then when they let it go, it just goes whooshka out there and it throws all the rocks or whatever. Well, if we picture our emotions like that instead of letting them go and go out there, and they're held back here, when they're held back here and before we let them go, we can breathe and feel down into our body. And for me last night, they were all around my stomach, and I went, okay, what am I going to do with this? I'm in charge now. I get to decide what happens with these emotions. And outwardly, I said, well, there's nothing I can do about the situation. It's not my job to do anything about the situation. And I'm allowed to feel this way, but I also need to let it go because it's not healthy to hold on to all this negative blah. All these negative feelings that just feel like, a mushed up pizza. And as I sat there and I felt the emotions running around inside of me, I just breathed gently, and I realized that in that moment I had a choice. As I felt the emotions running around internally, in my mind, I went, who am I? Am I somebody who vomits these emotions everywhere? Or is who I am someone full of joy and peace and courage and faith that everything will work out for the best, and I can just let go of the emotions and do the one next thing that I need to do? It's a really, really, really big question for us to ask in the middle of the emotional turmoil, okay? And as I lay there in bed, I went, I just want to let them go because they are not who I am. They don't belong in my life. Yes, I get it that I can feel this way and feel righteous indignation that my daughter was not treated right, and this happens all around the world, that people aren't treated right. And I want to let go so that I can take the one next step and help the one next person do the one next thing that improves their life as well. So I let it all go. And I just went to sleep peacefully. And then this morning I was thinking about it and I thought, well, where is our power as well in situations? What else can we do if we're not at the stage of being able to feel safe, to feel our body, to feel the emotions running around our body and where they're centered? And then I realised that we have the ability to use our imagination powerfully. Sorry, I just need a drink. It's been an interesting week to say the least. So when we want to use our imagination powerfully, it gives us the ability to say, okay, my emotions are here, but I want to use my imagination for a bigger picture. Okay? I want to use it so that I know that I have the power to say yes or no to whether these emotions stay or go. And we can use our imagination to picture a place of peace. So if you were to take into your mind right now a place of peace, so somewhere where you go that's very peaceful and fills you up. So I would think about a place I go which is down by the water, and it's often very, very peaceful for me, and it helps me let go and see a bigger picture in life, that I don't have to have all the answers right now. And we can often feel a lot of pressure that we have to have the answers right now. So in my imagination this morning, I just started building into my whole body, or my whole being, my heart center, into my mind, this place where I can access peace no matter what. It's going to take practice, okay? Practice on your part, practice on my part, that when the emotions become overwhelming, I learn to say stop, and I go, I'm just going to go to my place of peace for a while so that I can just manage what's happening for me. So I can choose what's happening for me. So I don't get derailed into things like migraines and having to sleep all the time, or anything else that gets triggered neurobiologically, anxiety. So my anxiety would never get triggered. And as we build this place of peace into us, into our mind, we will find that our whole body begins to get on board as well. And we are able to not only regulate our emotions, we're able to give ourselves permission to feel them, put language around them, and go, is this something that I need to pursue? Or is the most powerful position that I can hold on to a place of peace? When we ask ourselves these questions, we're making conscious decisions about the rest of our day, about the quality of our sleep. We are literally choosing to rewire our internal system and to choose to feel safe, that we have and can choose control over our one next step. Okay, grab your little, I think it was yesterday or the day before, grab your little book, write the information down, okay, write it down and work with what your place of peace in your imagination looks like, and each day build into that place of peace. And as that place of peace becomes bigger, it will become more naturally effective. It will naturally become more available to you as you learn to regulate the emotions that don't serve who you are today and where you're going. Okay. Diana said, thank you 1,000 times for sharing your journey in peace. What a concept. Yeah, isn't it? When we've come through so much trauma, developing peace for ourselves is literally a new concept for us. Good point, Diana. I love how you think about things. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in today. Remember, today is about choosing to develop our place of peace and making it bigger and greater and feeling more passionate about it from our heart than we ever have been able to before. Have a most gorgeous weekend, and I will see you again Monday morning to share some more information with you. Bye for now.